How to make COWSTAILS for canyoning. Okay, hey guys, it's that time of the year, sun is shining, almost spring. Time to check our harnesses. And when I was checking my gear, I was starting to notice that in my commercial harnesses there's some shows of wear and tear. Well, here, I know you can see this, the core of the COWSTAILS is getting through. Time to change them. So I thought I'd make a video on how to make COWSTAILS for canyoning. So you need climbing rope, a single rope. Make sure when you buy it there's like a 1 in a circle on it. Don't take the one with 1 divided by 2 or a half. Climbing rope, dynamic rope. So we're gonna start with a double fisherman. We want, when we take our carabiners, that they're stuck, so they cannot move, they cannot twist around. So if you were to have just like a normal loop, then if you want to take your carabiners, they can move around and you have to twist them and find the right angle, which is just a huge waste of energy. So we take a carabiner, double fisherman, so you go 1 time round, 2nd time round, and then there's a little cross here. Put the edge just about here. There you go. And then you want to pull it really tight. So leave the thickness of the rope times 10, so about 9 to 10 centimeters. Pull it really tight. There's multiple ways to fix it to the harness. So this obviously is one. We want to make a second one. When I use for my personal use, I really measure the distance, so I go hanging it, and it's really fine-tuning, because when you need to go up and down the rope, configuration and every centimeter counts. Every centimeter counts. Because this is a harness that I use for commercial use. Clients always change in shape, form and size, so I'm not gonna go too much into that. The way is to take about the rough distance. So I have the old one, so I'm gonna use the same distance. Okay, this is a long one, and what I use here is a normal knot, because I want to have this distance as long as functional as possible. So this needs to be short knot. It's no problem, because this doesn't need to get loosened up anyway. So I'm gonna take this for the knot. There we go. There we go. That seems to be okay. So again, really tighten your knots. This is super important. Obviously when you're going to hang in it, there will be tightened either way. Take the second carabiner, just this. My rope is really long, double fisherman. I'm doing it like this because I do not want to waste rope meters. Okay, so I'm like, every COWSTAIL is really measured. So this seems about right. This is a little trick. Always when you're hanging in them, the rope is gonna get tightened, and so they'll get a bit longer. These are our COWSTAILs. Alright, that seems fine. There we go. Now whatever is left, I want to cut that away, and to do that I have a little stove. And this is the easiest way. You have rope cutters, you have everything you can possibly imagine. I like to do it just like this. So this is just a gas stove, right? Take an old knife, heat it up until it's red hot. Now take on a surface that you don't adhere too much to. And look, it just goes through. Like, really melt the edges. Do not do this inside, because this is kind of poisonous. It's not a good smell to have in your house of burnt plastic. Okay, now in terms of attaching, there's a lot of ideas around this, and there's a lot of uses. What we used to do is to take a quick link, put on a quick link, put on this. Obviously this is a bit too big for this system. So the thought behind this is textile on textile. If that were to be on there, it continuously makes friction, and it kind of breaks down this loop, which is not so good for the harness. It'll hold, but it will wear and tear sooner than you would expect it. But I've noticed in my personal use that this thing here also damages the central point. I stepped away from this. Like, my personal harnesses, as I said, I tried directly there because I've got a metal link here. But for commercial use, for my commercial harnesses that I give to clients when they book me or when they rent or use material, I make a loop that is a bit bigger, and with this I just make a knot like this, and so which means that this is gonna get stuck, and the textile, it's textile on textile. However, it won't move, because when you're hanging in this, you fixed it and it stays on the same point. And it seems to work pretty well. So I'm just testing out. Obviously, whatever you do with your harnesses, always check on this point all the time. So always check. So move it around, see if it's still okay. From the moment there's a slightest hesitation here, just you cut this through and you throw it in the garbage bin. Buy a new harness. So with harnesses, don't play around with it. This is your life. And now we have our COWSTAILS. Good as new, really shiny. There you go. Have fun and be safe.